Hello, dear viewers. Welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We have here on the screen Gastronoc, the slug wizard. Let's continue on with Grumbletooth. I like Grumbletooth. I didn't end up doing any actual stash work at the end of the last video. I got a little distracted by life. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. The way I do it, I start at the staircase of the lair. I find the nearest down staircase. Although, maybe this one's closer. Oh, no, certainly not. Okay. Alrighty. And then I just sort of drop stuff around it. Drop these books. Staff. Probably won't ever use that halberd. Food. What else? Wands. We can get rid of these wands with no charges, and this wand of random effects. I want to hang on to this wand of lightning. It seems to be reasonably useful. I don't really want to spend any resources recharging these wands. They're not important enough, but I like to have them available just in case. No reason to, drop them off into deep water or something. We could drop a bunch of those scrolls or remove curse, and our scrolls of enchant weapon. What could this be? What do we not have identified yet? Acquirement, brand weapon, fear, holy words, silence, summoning, torment, vulnerability. Well, on the off chance that it's brand weapon, I guess we could rebrand this Falchion of Holy Wrath, or our Scimitar of Flaming. Neither of those seems super appealing, but it was a scroll of vulnerability, so it's fine. We have 4 scrolls of enchant armor, which is quite nice. Drop a couple of these scrolls of identify, although we can use one to identify this white potion. I don't know how we ended up missing that, but oh, potion of confusion. Well, let's drop this off over here then. Fortunately, our little trip to the ice cave, we didn't lose our potion of cure mutation. These are very, very nice. Very nice to have indeed. These potions of porridge, we might as well keep them. We'll just drink them occasionally. They're sort of like instant food. They take only a turn to consume as opposed to 3 turns for normal food. But it's not super useful to us at the moment, just because we don't expend a ton of hunger with our abilities. Like, we're not going to be spamming these abilities. So, yeah, we can drop them off. We'll put them in the porridge pile, even though they're not, or in the potion pile, even though they're not a potion in effect exactly. Let's drop one of those. We'll keep the heal wounds, obviously. And drop one of these. Just a few sort of backup potions if we get caught out by an icy thing. I don't know. Alright. Okay, I think that's good. That clears up our inventory quite a bit. Oh, and I'll get rid of these arrows of dispersal. I didn't want to drop those in the main dungeon because it really is no fun at all getting hit by one of these and being banished to the abyss. Whee! Let's get rid of a couple of these scrolls of teleportation too while we're at it. And one of these scrolls of magic mapping. Alright, I think we're set now. Okie dokie. Back to it. There's a slug. Yeah, I have the feeling like the lair is going to be a lot easier than the past few levels of the dungeon have been. What potions do we have left? Beneficial mutation, a bunch of different ones. Okay, well let's hang on to that until we find something else we want to identify, just in case that the scroll we use is a 3-for-1 or a 2-for-1. They're removing that feature in the next patch, but they are making a lot of items easier to identify naturally, so I'm not particularly concerned. Okay, so I think we wanted to start putting things into dexterity, if I'm not mistaken. Though it wouldn't be terrible idea to put some points into strength or into intelligence. Nah, we want damage. Oh, and we got a natural point of intelligence anyway. So there. Our intelligence is at a 5, now a 6, because we are using this amulet that gives us 4 additional dexterity. We might as well keep using it. Like, it's gonna penalize us for taking it off whenever we do take it off. We're gonna lose a bunch of piety with Makleb. But I mean, the 4 dexterity is nice in the meantime, and I don't know. We don't get any god gifts or anything like we would for Okawaru or Trog or Sifmuna, so it doesn't benefit us in that particular manner by keeping it on. But it's, still nice to have piety. It means that we can spam our abilities a little bit more, our heftier abilities. Though I still don't want to use this quite yet. We're still training shields, because we want to get that up to 15 so we can use this. Eventually we'll want to get it maybe up to 25 for large shields, if we find a good artifact large shield. But we may, at some point in the game, want to switch to two-handed swords. We'll see. Aha, I found you. Sleeping. Sleeping on the job. I think we're still unstealthy, yeah. So we're not going to announce our presence to the dungeon with every step, but we can't sneak up on stuff. This falchion... it is a runed falchion. We might as well pick it up, try it out. Oh. Exactly the same as the one we already have. Well, that's swell. What is this book? A Young Poisoner's Handbook. This is reasonable. We could memorize Cure Poison, but I'm not too excited about Cure Poison. We're not really worried about poison in general, but on the other hand, there's no reason not to memorize it, really. It's virtually uncastable, although I think if we strip down, maybe. Still not great. Okay, well, maybe we'll put a point or two into something at some point. I doubt it, but there was no cost to us for memorizing that spell. And potentially, we could be poisoned enough that it gets past our damage shaving, and we want to get rid of it. I kind of doubt that would happen. With poison resistance, that's fairly rare. The shoals. Okay. That's fine. I think nowadays I might prefer the shoals to the swamps. I'm not sure. They're both fairly tough. I think the shoals is harder, just because there are a lot more weapon-wielding enemies, and weapon-wielding enemies always have the chance to surprise you with various brands and enchantments and whatnot. It's a little more variable than I like it to be. Let's see where this takes us. Okay. That random altar of Zin in the middle of the lair. I don't know why Zin would have an altar here. Maybe it was once a mighty temple, but it was overgrown or something. I don't know. Let's blast these blink frogs. Cool. That was a neat explosion. Orb electricity. That used to be a spell, apparently, but it can only be found now as an invocation of greater destruction from Makleb, or occasionally from using the Tome of Destruction, which is a powerful, if unpredictable, evocable item. Yar. Another unidentified scroll, which we will test read at some point, probably once we've cleared out this level a little bit more. The Book of Hindrance, what does that do? Confusing Touch, eh? When a caster touches a monster with their bare hand. Does that mean we can't be wielding anything? Ugh, that doesn't seem great. None of these other spells are going to be castable for us. La-di-da-da-da. Yeah, this is so much easier than the main dungeon. Though that will eventually change. And blink frogs are always tricky, regardless. Let's actually get here. Only one thing can attack us at a time. One blink frog at a time isn't terrible. A bunch of blink frogs at once, pretty scary. Come here, so I can kill thee. Ooh, yaks. And a regular scimitar, that's not too exciting. I do like the idea of sticking to this, although we can actually just fight this one here. No need to go traipsing all over the place. I feel confident about our ability to fight 2 yaks at once. Probably even 3 yaks at once. Our armor class is up to 18. I'm not sure how exactly we've come about all that armor class, but I think probably because we trained armor a significant amount, and we did enchant this Helmet of Sea Invisible up a little bit. Oh, and we found this +2 cloak. That's where that spike came from. Okay, good to know. There's an unidentified ring. Let's check it out. What are you? Unknown, okay. Well, let's go ahead then and identify this ring. Protection from fire. Okay, that's a good one to have. Potion of Degeneration. Blech. Gross. Temporarily drains one of your stats. What about you, Yellow Potion? A Potion of Brilliance. We don't really care about Potions of Brilliance, but, you know. We won't just chug it unnecessarily or throw it away or anything. We'll keep it in our stash. We could always, I suppose, drink the Potion of Brilliance in order to cast Cure Poison. Oh, I see. So he has a bow of flame, not arrows of flame. You can tell because the arrow there is a normal arrow, as opposed to a flaming... Oh dear, I see. It's one of these sort of mini vaults. We don't have a good way of approaching these centaurs, I don't think. Suppose we could try this wand out, see what it does. Wand of Paralysis. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, I just can't think of any way to get over there without getting peppered with arrows. So we're gonna get out of there for now. Check out this staircase. Oh, it's a mimic! Oh no! Scary. Sorta. I don't know. Some of the mimics later on are indeed quite scary. Ravenous mimics and such. Where do you go? Where do you go? I thought I saw... There we go. In the Lair, particularly, I like to have all the staircases plotted out. Another potion of porridge. Huh. Lots of potions of porridge. If we were a Spriggan, we'd be happy as a clam. Spriggans are, for now, are herbivores and cannot eat meat, although I think they are changing that next game. Or next patch. Maybe not. I know they're changing a lot of the metabolism things. This is a very dangerous staircase. Let's pop back up, and orange rats are actually pretty strong. I don't know how we were drained. How were we drained? Not sure. I missed that. Oh, the orange rat bit us and we felt drained. I didn't know that orange rats could drain us. That's crazy. Orange rats are evil. Alright, wolves and bears. Not too concerned, but we might as well summon a friend here. We're gonna call a friend, Regis. Bears go berserk at low health, though often they will try to run away first. we're okay with that. Let's see. Herald. Ow. Yikes. Herald hurts. Was that a spell or... Yeah, it was a spell. Okay. Man, that was really painful. Well, let's heal up a bit. Get ourselves some more charges on our handy-dandy wand, and consider our options. First thing we should do is probably... Yeah, put on this Ring of Protection from Fire. I'm not sure... Yeah, I want to keep this Ring of Dexterity on for the damage boost that it grants us. Alright, let's get a couple of servants here and head back down. I think we can take on Herald if we are smart about this. Oh, no, I don't want to fire through my Smoke Demon. Yeah, alright. Cool. So long, Herald. He's a middle-aged adventurer. His last mission is to kill you. It's kind of tragic, really. So one thing I'm going to try and do from this session forth is to be a little more proactive with my summons. I'm going to try and get my demonic allies in place prior to battle, rather than in the middle of battle when I'm getting my butt kicked. Because they can show up as hostile demons, and that's really, really bad if you're in panic mode and running away, because you have 4 hit points left, and you summon a hostile demon right next to you, and you die. So. Shields all the way up to level 10. That's good. Yeah, we have pretty decent skills at this point. I like this training mix for now. Our next goal is to train up fighting a significant amount. But I don't want to turn that on just right this moment, because I think getting shields to 15 is a higher priority for us. I think that's going to be more beneficial to us than a few extra hit points. Though we are starting to get to the point where fighting is a worthwhile investment. It's not necessarily wrong to train fighting very early on. It's just your returns from it are going to be quite small. It's something like 0.125 hit points per rank of fighting per character level. So for every 8 character levels you possess, each rank of fighting grants you 1 hit point. Or, alternatively, if you have 8 ranks in fighting at character level 1, you also gain 1 hit point from it. So, you know, you can do the math either way. But it's good to think of it in terms... Oh, hopefully that means we have the spider's nest. That would be nice. I prefer it to the snake pits. So with some classes, you may choose to... or with some species, you may choose to train fighting early to sort of counteract a low hit point base. Like gargoyles start with 20% fewer hit points. I'm not sure if hit points gained from fighting are adjusted based on racial hit point aptitudes. Like if you have a modification, if you have more or fewer hit points than the average bear, if that carries over to the hit points gained from fighting, if you also have a reduction or increase, or if they're just a static additional, like a flat increase in health. Either way makes sense, I think. but I suppose I prefer a flat increase, honestly, since that makes it more beneficial for weak races and less redundant for strong hit point races. Okay, should we carry on to level 6? What should we do first? We should test out this wand. Wand of Flame. Boring. Let's test out this scroll. Scroll of Summoning. Okay, good to know. We have 2 unidentified potions, but I believe that we still have yet to identify... Yeah, Decay and Mutation are the big bads. Decay rots away some of your maximum hit points. Mutation, well, gives you 3 random mutations. I tend to find that you get 2 bad, 1 good with a potion of mutation, though that is certainly, like, that's not a hard and fast rule. I think there are just a higher number of bad mutations than good mutations, maybe? I don't know. Not sure. It might just be selection bias. Porcupines. Yeah. Layer 6 can be really tough. 5 can too, I suppose. But not as often as layers 7 and 8. Let's get ourselves a friend. I feel like being surrounded in this scenario is not the best option that we have. Sickness is actually not really a big deal for us because we don't regenerate hit points naturally anyway, so its cancellation of natural regeneration is moot. Completely redundant. Follow me, demon. We will achieve greatness together. Elephant slugs are another one of those enemies that under no circumstances should you polymorph it. Don't even use a wand of random effects on it. Because they're just super slow, and so they have a large number of hit dice. Since you can essentially run away from them forever, they have a ton of hit points. They're basically 10 levels higher or something than anything else, or 15 levels maybe higher than anything else that you would find on this level of the layer. So if you polymorph it, it could turn into, say, a gold dragon and just ace you with one swipe of his claws. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but why are you... I guess it saw me attack the plant and got jealous. It wanted to attack the plant too. An entrance to the slime pits. The fact that there aren't any slimes around it makes me suspect that it's a mimic. Oh, no. It's just an unguarded entrance to the slime pits. Cool. We will want to wait a while before we enter the slime pits. With the current trunk, 0.14, the slime pits are very costly to anyone without equipment that's immune to corrosion. Black Mambas, we should be okay against Black Mambas, actually. They're one of those enemies that hits very rapidly, but not very hard. So the fact that it's hitting us 6 times for no damage is fine by us. And our evasion isn't abysmal. 9 is fine. We will want to put points into dodging eventually. Actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we focus these and then just trickle some points into dodging, since the first couple of levels are going to be really easy to get. I think we got the spider's nest. Awesome. I very much prefer the spider's nest to the shoals. I think it's a lot easier, or not the shoals, the snake pits. I think it's a lot easier this particular trunk version. Definitely in 0.12 and before, maybe in 0.13 as well. The snake pits were pretty easy. They were really predictable. As long as you had poison resistance and a few hit points, you could survive the snake pits. Then in either 0.13 or 0.14, I think it was 0.14, they added a ton of enemies with weird elemental types like shock serpents and salamanders, which are fire-based. And it just and a bunch of different kinds of Nagas, which there were always Nagas in there, but they added like sharpshooters and ritualists and just a bunch of stuff to make it a lot more challenging, which is fine. I have no objection to that. It was kind of a boring branch before, to be honest. But it also means it's brutally difficult now. And the Spider's Nest, I don't know if they've changed that or not. I haven't been in the Spider's Nest as often as I've been in the Snake Pit in earlier trunk versions, so I couldn't say for sure. But I feel like the Spider's Nest didn't change a whole lot, and it's relatively forgiving. I mean, you still don't want to go in there without poison resistance and without a reasonably high armor class, but it's definitely doable by. It's doable at an earlier time than you could do the Snake Pits. Alright, so we're on level 6 of the Lair. Level 7 and 8, particularly 8, there's a big spike in difficulty. So I may put it off, but I'm not sure. So I think I'm going to end this video here. I have to get back to real life, unfortunately. But when we start next time, we'll discuss the pros and cons of the different branches and see where we end up. Thanks for watching, dear viewers, and I'll see you next time.